day, sir. Good day, mates. Our assigned topic is Chapter 2 about phases of crisis management and types of crisis. Phases of crisis management. Crisis incidents occur when they are least expected. What makes these incidents a crisis situation is when they go out of control and cause destruction to lives, property, or endanger public safety. Meaning, crisis incidents are unexpected events. These incidents come crisis situations when they escalate and become unmanageable. The escalation leads to destruction of lives and property and endangers public safety. And also, a crisis becomes a big problem when it gets out of control. This lack of control can cause harm to people, damage property, and make things unsafe for everyone. So there are actually three phases of crisis management, and they are: first, the proactive phase; second, the reactive phase; and third, the post-conflict phase. So first, what is the proactive phase? This phase is designed to predict or prevent the probability of occurrence, at the same time prepare to handle them when they occur. At this stage, the crisis managers are looking for risks and managing issues that may snowball into a crisis can reduce its impact. However, failure is identification of these risks creates a reactive situation instead of a proactive intervention. So meaning this phase is all about thinking ahead to spot possible problems before they happen. It's about preparing in advance to handle any issues that might come up. And also, if you find and fix risks early, you can stop a small problem from becoming a big crisis. But if you miss the risks, you'll have to react to a crisis instead of preventing it. Next is the reactive phase. This phase is the actual execution or implementation of any contingency plan when a crisis situation occurs despite the proactive measures. The objectives in this stage are to ensure a high probability of success in neutralizing the perpetrator, and also to minimize or cushion the adverse effects of the crisis incidents, and to ensure a smooth and speedy rehabilitation or return to normalcy. So the reactive phase, this is when you put your plans into action because a crisis has already started. So your goal here is to stop whoever or whatever is causing the crisis, and also reduce the negative effects as much as possible, and then help things get back to normal quickly and smoothly. That's meaning of reactive phase. Okay, so the last one for the three phases of crisis is the post-conflict phase. It is the situation when the proactive and reactive phases are done and plans for post-action and recovery are the focus and put into full implementation. So meaning this phase happen after the crisis is over. The focus is on long-term recovery and making sure the plans for recovery are full implemented. So overall, the proactive phase meaning is thinking ahead, preparing in advance, find and fix risk early, while Productive phase is putting your plans into action and also helping things back to normal quickly and smoothly. And the post conflict phase is after the crisis is over. The crisis is done. Next is we are going to talk about types of crisis. So crises are either man-made or natural and categorized as follows. So first is man-made crisis. So these man-made incidents have element of human intent, negligence, or error involving a failure of a man-made system as opposed to natural disasters resulting from natural hazards. So example of this one is civil disturbance, meaning also referred to as civil disorder. Unrest is defined as any public disturbance involving acts of violence by assemblages of three or more persons, which causes an immediate danger of or result in damage or injury to the property or person of any other individual. Meaning, the example of civil disturbance is when a group of three or more people cause violence or unrest, which can harm people or damage property. So the examples of these are labor strikes or demonstrations, like when workers temporarily stop working together because they have a problem with their job or employer. Another example is a march or gathering where people show they are against something or support something. So these actions can be peaceful or can escalate into riots where people destroy property and cause fear. Another example is riots. Riots are violent public disorders, specifically a tumultuous disturbance of the public peace by three or more persons assembled together and acting with a common intent. Meaning, riots are when a group of people by three or more cause violent public chaos. They disrupt the peace and act with a common goal. That involves violence or disturbance. That is the meaning of riots. So next is anarchy. Anarchism is a cluster of doctrines and attitudes centered on the belief that government is both harmful and unnecessary. Anarchy is the general lawlessness and disorder, particularly when thought to result from an absence or failure of government. So, the anarchy is a situation where there's no government or laws, and some people believe that government is harmful and not needed. So, that is the meaning of archism. And also, anarchy usually leads to chaos and disorder, especially when the government is weak or non-existent. So next is the Huelga ng Bayan. So Huelga ng Bayan or People's Strike is a general strike which is but an extended sympathetic strike. It is work stoppage affecting numerous, if not all, employers, including a particular employer who has no dispute with his employees regarding their terms and conditions of employment. Meaning, a huelga ng bayan is a general strike where many workers stop working to show support for others. Also, it affects many employers, not just one. even if those employers don't have a problem with their own workers. So it's a way of showing solidarity and demanding better working conditions or terms of employment for everyone. So next is revolt. So if a large number of people revolt, they refuse to be controlled or ruled and take action against authority, often with the use of violent action. So example of this revolt is number 1, mutiny. It is any overt act of defiance or attack upon military authority by two or more persons subject to such authority. It is the resistance to and seeking to overthrow lawful authority and disobeying authority in a subversive manner, meaning when two or more people in the military disobey or attack their leaders to try and take over. That is the meaning of mutiny. Next is insurrection. It is an organized and usually violent act of revolt or rebellion against an established government or governing authority of a nation state or other political entity by a group of its citizens or subjects. Also, any act of engaging in such a revolt, meaning an organized or violent rebellion against the government by a group of citizens. So the last example of revolt is coup d'état. It is also called coup. It is the sudden, violent overthrow of an existing government by a small group. The chief prerequisite for a coup is control of all or part of the armed forces, the police, and other military elements. So meaning, a coup is when a small group suddenly and violently takes over the government. To do this, they usually need to control the military, police, or other armed forces.
Another example of man-made crisis is revolution. Revolution is a violent, extra-constitutional attempt to replace one government with another, involving major and sudden changes in governance. For example, sa isa ka state is wala na sila nakasabot sa ilang pamalakad, sa ilahang pamaagi kung unsaon. And then, mao din ni sila ang mag-protest, dayon mag-create sila another government, and then maghimo pud sila own nila nga rules. Next is border incident. Border incident is a dispute over land or water boundaries between countries, often due to historical, cultural, or resource competition issues. For example, ang Philippines and ang China, di ba kay gaaway sila tungod sa West Philippine Sea. Mo na siya ginatawag nga kanang border incident nga kanang kuan sila ilog sila asa dapit ang boundary sa Philippines and sa China. Next is we have war. War is an armed conflict between political groups or nations lasting and large in scale. Prolonged war ni siya. For example, ani is ang World War II, World War I, mo na siya kay between siya sa nations nga mga war. And we have conventional war. Conventional war, it is the use of conventional or traditional means to wage war. The two sides face each other on the battlefield using weapons against each other. With this weapon usually not including biological, chemical, or nuclear substances. For example, Mo ni siya ang gagamit lang og mga regular nga weapon, which is gun and tanki de guerra and other regular weapon nga ginagamit sa battlefield. And next, we have a biochemical war. It involves the use of biological and chemical weapons, which are weapons of mass destruction. Chemical weapons use toxic chemicals to harm or kill, while biological weapons use bacteria, viruses, or toxins to cause mass casualties. An example ani is kanang gakuan sila og mga virus and mga bacteria to kill people para ma-spread to siya din makakill din siya people, mga toxins ana mga ingana ilang mga ginagamit nga weapon. And next we have a nuclear war. It involves the use of nuclear weapons, which are extremely destructive. A single nuclear bomb can destroy an entire city, kill millions, and have a long-term environmental and genetic impacts. Nuclear war, it is the most dangerous weapon on Earth. Kay kabalo man jud ta kung unsa ang nuclear, di ba? Next is we have kidnapping. Kidnapping, it is a taking a person without consent and using mga threats and kanang mga violence, intimidation, like without freedom sila, like dili ka basta-basta makagawas, basta ikaw ang makidnap. And next, we have hijacking. Hijacking is the taking control of a vehicle from someone else by force or threat. Mo ni siya ang gagamit og kanang force or threat to take over or control sa usa ka vehicle. And then, ang example niya ani kay katubi tong Philippine Airline nga kanang gi-hijack siya while kanang sa wala pa sila ni land. Mo na siya. And next, we have hostage taking. It is holding people against their will as a bargaining chips, refusing authorities' demands. Mo ni siya ang captive og mga tao without their consent, and then ginagamit nila ang persons nga ilang na captive para makuha nila ang gusto nila sa isa ka negotiation. And next, we have terrorist activities. According to the Anti-Terrorism Act of 2020, terrorism is committed by any person who nga nakakos og death, nakakos og serious injury, and naka-endanger sa mga life. And then, cause extensive damage to public, private property, or government facilities. Nag-interfere with or destroy critical infrastructure. And then, develop, use, or transport dangerous weapons like biological, nuclear, and radiological, chemical, and lastly, explosives. Release dangerous substance or cause fire, floods, or explosions. Ang best example ani niya is katong Marawi Siege. Ang Marawi Siege is katong sa Marawi nga where the ISIS affiliated groups attack and occupied Marawi City. And nakakos siya og extensive damage and endangering lives. Mo na siya ang best example sa terrorist activities. The purpose of terrorist activities are kanang nag-intimidate sa public, nag-create and nag-spread og message of fear, and then nag-influence or nag-provoke sa government or international bodies through intimidation, and then destabilize or destroy the country's core structures like political, economic, and social, and create public emergency or undermine safely. Muna siya ang kanang purpose sa terrorist activities. And next we have attacks, raids. It is referred to violent assaults on government and vital facilities. And for example, ani kay isa ka armed man or mga armed man nga nagsulod sila sa isa ka establishment, like nagko sila og damage and nangawat before kanang leaving. So Good day everyone, I am Dame Michelle Cabungkal and today I am going to discuss about the natural crisis, which is defined as disturbances in the environment and nature lead to natural crisis. These events are generally beyond the control of human beings. So, ang natural crisis is kana bitaw ang mga panghitabo nga dili nato kontrolado nga makakause siya og damage and wala nato gina-expect nga mahitabo like sunog, linog ug baha or bagyo inana. So, letter A is fire. Fire hazard is any condition or act which increases or may cause an increase in the probability of the occurrence of fire or which may obstruct, delay, hinder, or interfere with firefighting operations and the safeguarding of life and property. So, ang fire hazard is kana bitang mga butang nga makakos og sunog. Like kaning flammable liquids. Example sa flammable liquids are kanang gasoline, alcohol, and then gas. Kana siya makakos siya og sunog. Or kanang unintended cooking like kaning nasa picture like nagluto ka and then wala na nimo nabantayan ang imong niluto, so nasunog na diay, so mo na siya makakos siya og sunog. And then usa pod sa fire hazard kana ganing makadelay sa mga firefighters sa pag-save sa property, like nasunog ang usa ka property and then dili siya masudlan og kanang firefighters inana maglisod og sulod ang firefighters, or kanang naka-block ang pares aning sa fire exit, naka-block ang fire exit so dili makaagi ang mga tao, so ana maglisod og save sa maglisod og save sa kinabuhi tungod ana. Tapos fire protection refers to measures taken to prevent fire from becoming destructive, reduce the impact of an uncontrolled fire, and save lives and properties. So, fire protection. So, kaning mga examples diri sa pictures. So, naatay fire extinguisher. Na siya maka-reduce sa pagdako sa kalayo. Then, naapod din tayo fire alarm. Like, kung dako kayo ang building and then para maalarma ang mga tao nga naay sunog. Then natay smoke detector and kanang water sprinkler. So pag makadetect og smoke dayon mo diretso na siya og kuan og tubig. Napo din kinahanglan po din sa isa ka building is naay fire exit and then napo din tay firefighters. So letter B is marine or air disasters. So, air incidents normally include civil aircraft accidents, while waterborne disasters occur in water areas such as sea, rivers, and lakes. Most of these disasters are semi-ships, ships sunk by typhoons, ship collision, overloading of passengers and cargoes, mass drowning during fluvial parades or festivities, or dam collapse, overflowing, and tidal waves. So, mo na siya. So, natay pictures diri which is example sa air incidents. So, mo na siya ang example sa air incidents. Kani siya. And then, we have also examples sa waterborne disasters. So, na-mention dito ang ship collisions kani siya, then or kanang tungod sa typhoon inana then na din tay kaning nag-collapse ang usa ka dam, tapos kani dayong fluvial parade or festivities inana kung ma-draw na siya inana mo na siya ang kung malunod na siya mo na siya example po na siya din na din tay picture diri sa Titanic. Then letter C, structural collapse. Collapse refers to the failure of a structure or component to maintain its structural integrity. Structures that could collapse include buildings, bridges, and trenches. Structural collapses may be caused by natural phenomena such as earthquakes, tornadoes, or severe storms. Next is design and construct defects, fire or explosion, terrorist attacks. So natay mga example diri kana bitawng mag-collapse ang isa ka building tungod sa pwede siya tungod sa earthquake or sa linog or kanang bagyo inana. Natay example din inani kani nag-collapse ang isa ka bridge tungod sa linog, ang building tungod sa linog dayon na din tay tungod sa kanang terrorist attack mo ni siya sa Marawi kaning na diri na include diri sa examples sa picture kana siya mo ni siya examples. So a structural collapse generally occurs in one or two ways. So according sa University of Lethbridge 2021. So natay duha ka ways. Una is implosion. This type of collapse is caused when interior earth-bearing structures lost their integrity and subsequently pull exterior walls into the center of the mass. So ang explosion, this type of collapse is caused by an outward rush of force from a natural, mechanical, or chemical force which results in the building collapsing in an outward direction. So, lahi na sila. Kani sa implosion, kana ang pagka-collapse sa building is kana bitang ang magsugod siya sa tunga from the word interior. Ang iyang pinaka kaning sa sulod sa building, ang iyang pinaka kumbaga foundation, iyang mga haligi kana siya mawad-an na siya og kanang kusog, like for example mag bar down, so mag-collapse ang isa ka building paana id siya. Dayon ang explosion is kanang cost ni siya pwede natural, like kung earthquake inana or chemical force. Ang pagka-collapse sa building is outward direction. So kung diri nga side ang nakuan og force, so ang building is mag-collapse siya outward direction. So paana, so ang implosion is magsugod siya sa interior, sa sulod paana, then ang explosion is pa outward direction ang pagka-collapse. So letter D is hazardous spills. So it is a spill which there is a significant amount of a hazardous material released or one in which the release of the substance cannot be controlled. So pagkayabo sa usa ka hazardous nga kanang liquid or chemical. Small chemical spills can have deadly consequences if the substance is highly toxic, corrosive, reactive, or flammable. So, like kaning nasa picture, kanang muna siya small chemical spills. Like kamay ra siya nga nayabo pero pwede siya pero naa siya kanang deadly nga like highly toxic siya, so pwede siya mag-cause og kanang damage, like pwede pud nga makapatay siya inana. Tapos while larger spills will invariably release more airborne contaminants, capable of spreading airborne contaminants to other parts of the building, which such as through the ventilation system, and if flammable, create a more explosive zone. So ang larger spills like kanang sa tibuok building ba ng like sa isa ka dako nga tangke pares ani mayabo and then makakos siya og kanang kuan sa tibuok building makakos siya og damage, like ma-inhale sa mga staffs or mga tao nga naa nga building, pwede siya mag-cause og damage nana. Utilities failure, letter E, utilities failure. It refers to any unplanned malfunction or failure of essential utility system, including but not limited to electrical power distribution, plumbing, water and waste disposal, natural gas, emergency power generators, elevators, inana. So kaning utility failure is kana bitang wala giplano or wala gidahom nga ang kanang usa ka machine or kuan butang is kanang wala siya ga function, like sa air condition like pwede gyapon siya mag-cause og kanang damage, pwede siya maka-cause og crisis kay like for example kanang sa kuan sa electricity, so electrical power distribution, so kana wala gi dili planado nga kanang kuan ay ma-blackout inana, so maka-cause siya og crisis, like lang kanang sa isa ka building labi nagbalay generator inana, or kaning air conditioning o dili mag-function ang isa ka aircon and then naa sa isa ka kwarto and then na-lock up ka dito and then ang aircon lang ang makahatag sa imuha og kanang hangin nga makaginhawa ka. So inana kung dili na siya mag-function, so pwede ka nga pwede maka-cause sa imuha og damage. And then kanida yung sa equipment o kaning equipment nga kanang gigamit sa usa ka pasyente, like machine nga gigamit sa usa ka pasyente, which is maura na siyang makahatag sa iya og life, di ba? So and then wala gi-expect nga dili siya mag-function, na wala na siya nag-function, so mo na siya maka-cause siya og unsafe situation sa usa ka pasyente. Letter F is nuclear accidents. Nuclear accidents is an event that has led to significant consequences to people, the environment, or the facility. Examples include lethal effects to individuals. So naatay kuan diri kanang pictures, duha ka pictures, so mo na siya radioactive kana inana kuan lugar siya mag-explode inana, so pwede siya makahatag siya og kanang damage sa tibuok nga environment or kanang napalibutan niya, kay pwede man nga modako ang kalayo and dili na siya makontrol ba ang iyang pagdako inana. So letter G is food scarcity or famine. It is a severe and prolonged hunger in a substantial proportion of the population of a region or country. Kani sa isa ka nasod, like for example sa Philippines, nahitabo nga flood, nagbaha tibuok Philippines inana, so nangaanod na ang kuan ninyo, like inyong mga pagkaon nga gisave, ang inyong mga mananap inana, so mga tanom nangadaot ang mga tanom, so mo na siya mag-cause og kanang severe kanang hunger, mag-cause siya og kagutom, starvation, nga pwede makamatay ana, or maka-cause siya og disease inana, kay pwede pod insect infestation, kanang plant disease, unreasonable like typhoons, mga inana nga panghitabo nga maka-cause siya sa usa ka country or kaning region og kagutom. Fuel shortage. It refers to the scarcity of resources that are considered as fuel in an economy. So during sa shortage, ang mga local authorities kaning fuel shortage ang mga local authorities og ang kanang mga fuel suppliers, ang ilang i-prioritize ra is katong mga emergency operating centers or hospitals, food supply dealers, water supply plants, and telecommunication networks. So mora na ang ilang i-priority sa aning fuel shortage. So how about ang mga tao, di ba? So mag-cause siya og crisis pod, like letter I, pestilence or epidemic. Epidemic is an outbreak of disease that spreads quickly and affects many individuals at the same time. So kaning epidemic is isa ka kanang disease nga makamatay nga ga-spread, paspas kay siya mag-spread and makaapekto siya sa individuals like sa mga tao ana nga lugar. And the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention or CDC describes an epidemic as an unexpected increase in the number of disease cases in a specific geographical area. Muna siya, ang epidemic daw kuno is wala, dili siya expected. Unexpected increase. Unexpected nga pagdaghan sa number sa disease sa usa ka area. Like like diri sa Valencia City inana. Wala siya gi-expect nga ng pagkalat sa disease ba sa usa ka disease. So pestilence is a contagious or infectious epidemic disease that is virulent and devastating. The level of disease are natay sporadic, refers to a disease that occurs infrequently and irregularly. So kaning sporadic kuan ni siya kanang gakahitabo siya kanang rarely lang siya, dili siya permi ba na kaning endemic. Ang endemic naman is refers to the constant presence and or usual prevalence of a disease or infectious agent in a population within a geographic area. So ang endemic kanang ang naay disease nga gakahitabo sa mga tao sa usa ka lugar, like constant presence so permanente nga presence sa usa ka disease sa isa ka geographic area, like sa Next, hyperendemic refers to persistent high levels of disease occurrence. So lahi pod ni ang hyperendemic kay kani siya nga disease is kanang high levels of disease. So kanang taas ang kanang level ani siya nga disease nga kakahitabo siya ba. Taas siya og kanang chance nga gakahitabo siya, nga mahitabo siya. Ang epidemic naman is refers to an increase, often sudden, in the number of cases of a disease above what is normally expected in that population in that area. So ang epidemic refers to an increase, kanang refers sa kanang pag-increase or pagtaas og number sa usa ka disease. Like para sa adtong COVID-19. COVID-19 pero lahi lang ang epidemic kay sa usa lang siya ka area ga spread, like for example sa Valencia City ana lang nga area bitaw ang pagkalat sa usa ka disease. Like sa Philippines ana diha ra gatuyok ang kana nga disease. Outbreak carries the same definition of epidemic but in often used for a more limited geographic area. So ang kaning outbreak same ra sila og definition ni epidemic pero kani lang siya is limited ra siya sa usa ka geographic area. Next is cluster, refers to an aggregation of cases grouped in place and time that are suspected to be greater than the number expected. So ang cluster is kanang wala gi-expect ba nga, kanang ang suspected nga number sa maiguan nga disease is greater pa ang nahitabo. Like for example, expected nga makuha na nga disease, like for example sa COVID-19 lugar, expected nga matamaan na is mga 1,000 lang katawo inana. So greater pa day siya kay nag-spread pa, mas dako pa sa expected number ang nahitabo. So kani day pandemic dayon mo ni siya nahitabo gid mo gid nito siyang katong COVID-19 refers to an epidemic that has spread over several countries. Ang pandemic kay tibuok man to kuana, so like sa Philippines, China, and motong nag-lockdown gyud tanan. So floods. So letter J is floods. It is the rising and overflowing of a body of water, especially onto normally dry land. So kabalo na taon sa ng flood kanang pagtaas sa tubig. Pagtaas sa tubig tungod sa ulan, when intense rain falls over a short period of time. So kaning pagtaas sa ulan, so kusog ang ulan, then dugay kini hunong mo na siyang magkabaha. Labi na pagyud kung ang mga canals or mga sapa is kanang naay nakabara nga mag-cause sa tubig na mag-overflow siya, mo din na siyang magbaha. And then according sa pag-asa, ang flood daw kuno is abnormal progression rise in the water level of a stream that may result in the overflowing by the water of the normal confines of the stream with the subsequent inundation of areas which are not normally submerged. Ang flood is abnormal nga pagtaas sa level sa tubig. According sa pag-asa, the types of flood are minor flooding. So ang minor flooding inundation may or may not be due to overbanking. When there is no bank overflow, flooding is simply due to the accumulation of excessive surface runoff and low-lying flat areas. So flood waters are usually confined, so mo ni siya ang example sa minor flooding kani. Gamay lang siya nga baha. Dili kay siya ingon nga dako. Lahi pud tong major flooding. And diri lang ko kutob. Thank you.